population growth versus dwelling completion. So what the green line here is population growth, and the blue line is dwelling completion. So traditionally, we're going back to 76 here, it's been a relatively constant relationship. So there's a bit of a lag there, but in general, there's been a relationship between population growth and how much property is being constructed, which has meant on the right-hand side, the housing market balance has remained actually during the 70s and 80s into the early 90s. So it was actually a surplus. But we've started to see a shortage, and it's not just the bank funding situation that's driving that, because this is occurring well before the GFC. It's to do with the availability of suitable land for development, for residential development. The cities, it's finding harder, particularly Sydney, to supply enough new land for development to occur to cater to that population growth. And so that, out in the west, we've got new subdivisions. There's not enough land that's suitable for it, and also the planning process is taking longer than we need to get that land onto the market. And also, particularly in Sydney, it's a peculiarity to Sydney, is the difficulty to get for developers to use urban density. So to actually, put new apartment developments in a lot of suburbs, the restrictions mean that it's nigh on impossible, or even if they could, it's not feasible for them to do so. So it's meant that we're not getting enough construction to meet that. By 2030, this is based on ABS numbers and ANZ research, the undersupply is forecast to be 600,000. Now, I actually think it'll be worse than that, because a lot of the way in which they've calculated those numbers are based on dwelling approvals. What we're seeing is dwelling approvals are actually a lot higher, even though you see that blue line on the left coming down, than the actual amount that's being built. So what it means is we expect that less of that dwelling approval will actually get constructed, and that housing undersupply will get worse than that $600,000 number. 600,000 number, that's our view.